All right. Good evening, everybody.
Hey!
Welcome to Build It Through Culture Live. So glad to have y'all with us tonight as we do come to you about every other week or so talking about everything culture. And I just want to introduce myself. I am Rob Genovese, owner of Unleash My Beast Brain. We're a branding and design company. And I started that company several years back after getting frustrated in the corporate world. Found my way into business ownership. And then when I started networking to feed that business, I turned to Master Networks, which is the organization that Steph and I represent. And we're talking tonight and have this platform thanks to Master Networks. And I want to give my culture collaborator a chance to introduce herself. Go ahead, Steph.
Good evening, everyone. Stephanie Bellafato from ServPro of Putnam. We are your local disaster recovery specialists. We take care of everything for you in your cleanup and remediation needs. I am so happy. I'm so happy to be here with you all tonight, and this is going to be such a great night. So thank you guys all for coming out. Shout us out. Let us know that you're here. Oh, Lisa Ferry. Hey, Teresa.
Larry Blackman.
Oh, Larry Blackman.
Thank you, man. Good to see you. Thank y'all for coming. I say y'all. I've been from New York my whole life, but y'all just sounds good. I like the way it sounds, you know?
Hey, I think you need to turn up the music.
Turn it up?
Turn it up.
Turn it up or turn it off?
No, turn it up.
All right, for all those. Hey, Donna. Welcome, Donna. Thank you for coming.
Donna.
Appreciate it. We got some people hopping on early here. We should come up with some kind of reward for people who show up right on the button because they're special people. I like that.
I know. Smile when you say Blackman.
Hey, Maggie.
Oh, Maggie.
Thanks for coming, Maggie. Jeff Levin.
Hey.
He said, ho, Ron and Steph. All right. I know Jeff. Jeff's a friend of mine. Maybe he'll get my name right. That would be good.
I think he meant to say hello. Hey, Barry.
All right. Fade this out a little bit. Who else we got coming on? Got some people coming on as we speak. And as you all know, every other week or so we come at you and we're talking about stuff having to do with culture. And tonight we're going to be talking about a special subject having to do with culture. The first few episodes, right? The first five episodes, I think we talked about the core values. Right?
Yes, we did.
Talked about core values.
Oh, and while we're thinking about that, so let's just quiz everybody. Who can put all 5 core values in the chat the quickest?
In order.
In order. That's right. In order. Let's see who could do it.
Let's see. All right. Lowenthal. I don't know what he's talking about. I half the time don't know what Rob Lowenthal is talking about, but he's got a new Chevy Cordova. He wants everybody to know. Maggie.
Hey, Rob.
He's grocery shopping. Now that's commitment.
That's dedication.
She's grocery shopping, but she's still on. And let's see. Oh, sure, we go fat fingers. Jeff, you don't have fat fingers. Jeff, I think he lost about 30 pounds on a.
I know he looks amazing.
Oh my gosh, the guy's like svelte. You know.
Yeah, he looks great. He looks great.
Hey, Mary Ellen.
Oh, Mary Ellen. Hey, Mary Ellen. Love Mary Ellen.
Yeah, absolutely. No, Larry, you can't look it up.
No, right? No looking it up. No cheating. Core values. Can you put them in order? The Master 5 core values. Put it in the chat if you could put them in order.
Yeah, we want to know if you know what they are. We're not impressed if you look it up. I mean, this is not an open book test. You see, right. So that doesn't count. So I think people are. Teresa.
Oh, that's right. She does live them. It's true.
That's kind of cheating, though. It's just like I live them.
Come on.
I don't need to tell you guys.
Right, we just want to quiz you guys a little. Come on, let's see.
Barry's got a half an effort here. So
I think if you look a little higher, he
all right, fine. I know you put them in the chat. I'm just busting on you. So Mary Ellen's got it. So Mary Ellen, I'm going to give it to Mary Ellen because she put them in order in one place. Barry separated them. So I'm sorry, Barry, you're going to lose on that one. We got Mary Ellen who's got them all. Look at that. She's got all
right, Mary Ellen.
In order, proper spacing, kerning, tracking. Oh, thank you, Mary Ellen. You win. All right. Oh, we got Bill Utenage, a regional partner from Florida.
Welcome, Bill.
Welcome, Bill. Thanks for coming. He's got them. I know
Yeah.
he's talking about these all the time, same as the rest of us here. you know, yeah, Barry, I know, tough room. We are a tough room. Hey, Victoria, thank you for coming.
Oh,
Appreciate you
hey,
coming.
Victoria. Welcome, welcome. We're so glad you're here with us.
Good to see you all. So that's awesome. So yeah, so you got the core values there. So we could run through them. Yeah, your relationships,
Yeah,
improvement,
but
contribution,
let's slow
accountability.
it down a little, right?
Oh,
Because
okay.
right, Rob, relationships first and foremost is so super key. Are you guys scheduling face to faces, right? We say it all the time. We're all like onions, and every time you have a face to face, you can peel back another layer and learn something new that you didn't know about that person. So we always say one face to face isn't enough. You need to have multiple face to faces. And of course, what I like to say is we don't just do business here together, right? We do life here together. So
For sure.
relationships is key. Constant improvement is what Tina teaches us all, right?
Yeah.
Constant improvement.
Yep.
What are you reading? What podcasts are you listening to? What are you learning? And are you implementing what you're learning in the training tidbits in your business and in your life? Right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Improvement.
Contribution.
I always say this. About the improvement. Because I'm into fitness. I'm a gym guy, and it would be so wonderful if you could just work out once and be in shape, right? But then everybody would, so it wouldn't
Right,
be
right.
really wouldn't be worth it. So it is. That's why Tina, she corrected me, and it's constant improvement, constant improvement, right? It's an all the time thing.
And if you didn't hear that, let me say it again. Constant improvement.
Constant and contribution.
Contribution. Yeah. What are you doing in your community? Or are you contributing in your chapter? Are you taking on a role to help out? What those are some of the things that we look for in contribution, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Victoria, for coming. I'd say come up to New York, but we're not really located, right? So you and I, Steph, are in New York, but we're pulling in people from all over the country here. So welcome from the Gulf Coast. Thank
Yeah.
you for
Love
coming,
it. Love
Victoria.
it. Love it.
Appreciate it. Absolutely. And then there's the accountability.
Accountability, right?
Accountability is a funny one.
Are you showing up to your weekly meetings? And if you're not, are you getting a sub? Those are important. You want to be represented. You want your business to be represented. So if you can't make a meeting, in our chapter we have a sub list, right? And I think a lot of chapters have a sub list. Reach out to one of the people on the sub list and ask them to 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 step in for you for whatever reason, right?
Yeah, and I want to say something on accountability. So some people go, it's no big deal if I don't show up. And maybe it was a last minute thing, they don't get a sub, or maybe they don't really try to get a sub, even though, like you said, we supply sub lists. I don't know if all chapters do that, all regions, but we supply sub lists to make it easy, and still people won't get it. And they're like, it's okay if I just miss a week. But here's the thing, accountability, it's not just that you're accountable because you paid for the seat. See, the team is expecting you to show up, because
Yeah,
your chapter is never as good
without
unless
you in it.
everybody's there,
That's
right?
right.
They're less than when you're not there. So that's important to be accountable to them, because they're counting on you. Because here's the other thing, from your own standpoint, if you don't show up to a 1 hour weekly meeting and you can't get a sub, you know what the others are thinking about you in your business?
Yeah. And it goes back to contribution, right? We love the contribution that each member makes in a chapter, right? In our discussions, everybody gets to contribute. That's the beauty of this.
Yeah. Yeah. So the accountability is huge. And these dovetail. Steph brings up a good point. These dovetail into one another, which is why I love these. They all build on one another, which creates, a very strong foundation when they're all interlocking. And then we get to that fifth one, right, which is the results, which is what
That's
everybody's
right.
looking for.
Yeah. But if you do the first four, the fifth one happens organically. You don't, if you work at the first four, the results happen, right?
Yeah. I mean, we're saying track it, have a target, know where
Sure.
you're going, what result you want to get. But after that, you kind of just focus on the activities that lead to the results. And that's what always happens. That's
Right.
how that always comes about. Right?
Yeah.
So for sure. So, and then we had revealed the culture formula.
Woohoo, you guys. And if you
I've done
missed
that.
that episode, watch the replay. If you were not able to be here that night, please watch the replay and comment, because we want your feedback, right? We can only get better by the feedback that you provide.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to actually put it up here because I didn't have it up here, but I think we should put it in for them so they can actually see what that is. And so if you know it, oh, this would be good. If you know what the culture formula, if you paid attention, you were here last time. Go ahead, put it in the chat. If you know what the culture formula is before I put it up there. So I'm not going to
put
tell
it in
you.
the chat.
I'll give you a couple minutes.
Awesome.
If you know what the culture formula is, and it is a formula, all right, put it in the chat, and we'll give you a round of applause. That's what
I see Alicia Alexander's in the house. Thank you, Alicia. She is not yet a member. She's going to become a member next week, and we're so happy to have her.
Awesome. Hey, Alicia. Oh, yes. So we're in Brooklyn this morning.
Yes. She's a business coach.
Hey, Karen. Thank you, Karen.
Karen, woo woo.
And Debbie, man, she's like had trouble getting in.
Oh, Debbie.
Debbie is one of those people where it doesn't matter what the obstacle is. She's going to be there. And talk about accountable, right?
Yeah.
And we had her on. We had her on here.
She's usually one of the first people in the room when we go live.
Yeah. Hey, Sammy, my people.
Sammy is the one who made me. She didn't just give me this mug. She made me this mug.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Sammy. We love you.
No, Rob, it's not a secret unless you weren't paying attention, because we did broadcast it live. Did you miss it, Rob? Did you miss the episode?
Rob is he's the comedian, right? So he's just.
Sorry, I'm laughing here because something dark side. That's not even close, Larry. That is not even close.
Nice try, Larry. Nice try.
Nice try. But no. So we're going to let that go for a little while until somebody can figure it out. Maybe some people right now are going back to the replay just to find out what it was. And by the way, that reminds me, if you're not getting informed of these lives, but also there's other things happening on the Master Networks Inc. Facebook page. So if you don't like that page, go ahead and like it right now so you don't miss anything coming up, because there's always good videos, good interviews, resources, things that you need to know in order to help you build your business and build your life, essentially. So go like that now. We want to make sure that you're always being informed of what's coming up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And hey, so I also want you guys to guess, what do you think what we're going to talk about tonight, right? Like, what are your guesses now that we did the core values and the culture formula? What's next? What do you think it is? Shout it out, put it in the chat, and let us know what you think we're going to talk about tonight.
And the funny thing is, I kind of told them.
Oh, you did?
I didn't tell them tonight. I told them in the post that went out, the Facebook post. I actually put it in there. If you noticed, I wasn't doing that in the beginning.
Okay.
Then I started doing it to see if people are interested in the topic, right? But I don't think people really read it, which is why this is a really good test.
Yeah, there you go. Wait a minute. You got to put up Sammy's thing. Sammy, how amazing Sammy Sunshine is. That's what we're talking. She is amazing.
Future episode. I'm not sure.
She is amazing. So if you haven't had a face-to-face with Sammy, you need to.
Yeah.
Culture. Well, we're always talking
Debbie.
culture,
Yes.
Debbie, right?
Well, she's not wrong.
She's not wrong.
Not wrong.
But beyond the culture piece, what else do you guys think we're talking about tonight?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Tina, woo woo.
Culture queen herself in the house. So we got somebody here. We got Sammy. Sammy is I think Sammy's got it. Do you see it, Steph? Oh, it moved. It moved. She's got it. Nope, that's Larry thanking Jeff for something. Boy, we got all the comments. They're just blowing by me here.
Yeah.
No, that's not what it is, Sammy. Core values times behaviors equals culture. So So yeah, Sammy, that is it. But and again, I was corrected by Tina because it's not exactly just that. It's actually, let me find out where that thing is. It's actually culture is equal to the core values times consistent behavior.
Behavior, right?
Consistent behavior. So we'll say Sammy got it, but we just have to make that little clarification that it is consistent behavior because, again, just like the constant improvement, your behavior once is not going to create the culture. So, not, everybody shows up in your chapter meeting or you have a meeting in your business because, we're talking about culture in business too, not just your
Yep.
chapter meetings, culture in your business, and you have a meeting. If everybody behaves according to the core values one day, but then they go out the window, you don't really have a culture. That was a
Right.
one-time event. So it is
You need to
consistent.
keep perpetuating that, right?
Perpetuating.
It's always got to be consistency, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but tonight we have a topic that we're going to talk about, and
Yeah.
I wonder if you guys know what that topic is.
Barry thinks it's growth.
Uh, no,
I wonder why Barry thinks it's growth. That's an interesting choice. Not a bad choice.
not a bad choice.
Just wondering why.
Yeah. So
And
put your and while I don't want to give my question out just yet because if
okay.
I do, then it's going to
So
give
wait
it
a
away.
minute. So I
Sammy
think
is the teacher's pet.
here's the thing. Sammy's got it. Sammy got it. And I'm not sure because usually Sammy likes to win something and we're not giving anything away. So Sammy, there's no award for it, but Sammy's right.
Oh my God, you got it, Sammy.
You get the round of
Connection.
applause. So I guess that's your reward, Sammy.
Woo-hoo. Woo-hoo.
Connection. We're going to talk about connection tonight.
Okay, so now that Sammy got it and we're talking about connection, my question to you all tonight is why do we feel so connected to certain people more than others? So if you have an answer to that, or put it in the chat for us, we want to hear, why do you feel more connected to certain people than others?
Yeah, it's a good question. And there's something at play there. Why, even sometimes, and I'm, I've learned how to be pretty amiable and friendly and we find, we have bond, right? So that taught me how to make that initial connection with people. The B's build on common interest. And then beyond that to build a relationship. But still, sometimes I'm with people. And as many years as I've been doing it successfully, sometimes I get with somebody in a face-to-face and I'm like, there's no connection whatsoever. I
Right.
can't make it. I'm working here. I'm sweating.
Right. Like you're trying to think of something to talk about, right? Because you
Yeah.
just don't seem to be connecting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is, there you go, like-minded. That's
Like-minded.
great, Tina. It's,
If you're like-minded, yeah, that's connection. I think
yeah.
faster.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And look, if you have a common interest, right? Like look, I love the going to the beach. So, if you share with people, and we talk about this too when people are doing showcases, and this week was a showcase week, share some of your personal stuff with the chapter so that they can connect with you easier, right? It's a little bit easier when you share some kind of common interest to connect with people.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's well, Rob Lowenthal says, I mean, I guess you could share good colognes
Well,
together.
you know, well, listen, he's talking about why you connect with people more than others. I don't know. If you smell good, you know what? That might be a connection.
That could be.
Hey,
And I think for one of those rare times, we're going to get the serious side of Barry Dorfman because you see something in them that you see in yourself or want to be.
Oh, Barry.
Let's ponder that for a second. Good one, Barry.
That is really good, Barry.
I thought it was a
Really
joke because,
good.
it's Barry, but no, it's really good. So thank you. Yeah, sometimes when you're with somebody, it is an instant connection, which is always good, but it doesn't mean that if you don't have an instant connection that it can't be good because I've had those situations, as I'm sure you have, Steph, where
Sure.
you're meeting somebody and in you're working it, you're working the bond, we
Right.
both on the common interests and, doing that occupation exploration and maybe have another face-to-face and you're getting to the needs discovery or the develop opportunity, but it took a little bit of work to get there. And I've had a couple of face-to-face with people before I went, oh my gosh, you too?
Right.
Like, we found really something to connect on.
And sometimes it's something that you've gone through in your life, right? Because again, we go back to everybody's like an onion and they peel back the layers. And the more face to faces you do, the more you learn about them, right? So
Yeah.
maybe initially they didn't share as much with you, but you've had a couple of face to faces now, and they can feel safe in being a little bit more vulnerable than they would on the first face to face. And maybe they share something with you and you're like, oh, that happened to me too. So how did you handle that? Right? Like,
Yeah.
these are some great conversations that can be had.
Yeah. Hey, Patricia, thank you for coming.
Hey, Patricia.
New people coming. Got Colleen. Hey, Colleen.
Hey, Colleen.
Awesome. Thank you for coming. I think I missed Justin before.
Ooh, Justin. Woo woo. Hey,
He's all over the
Justin.
place. Been seeing him a lot lately.
And hey, if you guys are seeing value in this, share this to your page.
Yeah.
Share it with others.
Share it because, and again, this is not just for Master Networks people. This is for everybody because we are talking about culture in business. Yeah, in your chapter meetings, but in business too, because what you learn out of this stuff here that Steph and I are always talking about, as we are on the National Culture and Retention Team with Tina Campbell as director of that for Master Networks. But at the heart of what we're doing is we're talking about your businesses and our businesses. So yeah, it's the platform we have, that's Master Networks, but you can take this stuff and use it in your family. You can use it in your business, of course.
But, we keep talking about how we connect and that common interest, a couple of weeks ago, Rob, I was at the Armand chapter, excuse me, and Zach was doing his presentation, right? And he shared about himself and he shared that he likes to build watches. And in that meeting, the president of that chapter, Robert Larson, is a watch collector. He collects watches, right? So at the end of the meeting, he was like, you got to tell me more, Zach. You got to tell me, so there you go, right? So now that's something that's going to bond them. And who knows what can grow from that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Once you connect, you can literally go anywhere with that relationship, right? And this is why, I know you're a big proponent of, how to do a proper showcase. When you showcase your business, when you get 10 minutes in front of a group to talk about your business, and a lot of people, and if you've done this, look, we've all done this. So I'm not throwing shade on anybody who's done this, but if you got 10 minutes and you spend 8 minutes talking about your business and the particulars and the process and the policies and the rules and all this, nobody really cares.
I'm glazed over. I'm glazed over.
But as soon as you talk about you, your family, your hobbies, your why, all of a sudden people, people connect with people, not with businesses.
Yep.
And until you connect, you're not likely to get the business.
Right.
So do 8 minutes on you and 2 minutes on your business, because honestly, they probably
and they're buying or they're using your product or service because it's you. So until you let them see the real you, all of you, why should they buy from you? Why should they do business with you?
Here we go. Patricia. Nope. Just did a showcase that was so well received because I did 80% about me. Thanks for the advice, Rachel Schwartz, Rachel Sirota. Yeah, they're good friends. Go. Yeah, and Rachel introduced me to Patricia. And yeah, and Rachel is an excellent trainer. She understands this stuff really well. So Patricia had success with that. So listen, this isn't just me and Steph going, here's what you should do. Patricia did it. Well received, 80% about her, because that's all people really care about.
Justin did one on Wednesday morning in Cortland, and it was 80% about him as well, and his family and his why he does what he does, and the morals that he was taught by his grandmother. It was beautiful.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Bill Utenage, he says, you are the brand. So
yes.
So what are you saying, Bill? I think what you're saying is you talk so much about your business, but it doesn't matter because it's really you that's representing it anyway, and people want to connect with you. So I think that's what he's saying. And I mean, as a brand guy, I agree. You are the brand, whether you like it or not, whether you know it or not. You are the brand.
Yeah. So how do you want to represent it? And how do you want people to receive you?
Yeah. Yeah. Bill said yes. He's like, yes. Okay. Bill and I have
Thanks.
talked a few
Thanks,
times.
Bill.
He and I, here, talk about connection. Bill and I don't know each other at all. We've never met in person. We've only spoken a couple of times. And we actually spoke last week, I guess, for probably the second or third time. But he and I have a similar mindset. So we have a connection on mindset around business. And we connected on that first. And which is interesting because we learned very little about each other's personal side. But see, we're both so passionate about business. It's a passion and a personal side. I'd rather talk about business a lot of times, like at mixers. People like to talk about other things, but I love talking about business. But he and I will get to know each other too. But we found that common ground immediately and connected on that. So it can go the other way too.
Yeah.
But just not when you're showcasing, see, because that's one-sided. When you're
Yeah.
talking to people,
And look, you want it to be interactive, right? You want to keep it engaging. So how's it going to be engaging?
yeah, has to be. So if you're just talking to people, right? You want to talk about you because you're not getting feedback. They're not talking back with you. It's not a conversation, right? You're
Right.
talking to in front of 30 other people. You're speaking in front of them. So the connection has to be from you to them, personal wise. So they feel a
Right.
connection. I remember this is going back a long time ago, but I remember when Jeremy Angevine did his showcase in your chapter,
Yeah.
and I didn't know him at all. And I didn't even know what he did.
Right.
And I never, ever forgot that on his wedding day, there was the worst snowstorm ever. And I think the power went out and they were outside taking pictures in like knee deep snow. And that's all I remembered. And it snowed on my wedding day too. Not like that, but I connected with that. I was like, so I had a face to face with him. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that, it snowed a snowstorm right on your wedding day and you guys still made the best of it. And it all turned out well, despite that, but that's
Right.
what I remembered.
Right.
And then we got to what he does.
And there you go, right? So, but that's what, and correct me if I'm wrong, Rob, that's what prompted you to say, I need to have a face to face with him, right?
Yeah. Immediately.
Right.
I did. Immediately. Rachel, you too, Rachel? Huge blizzard the day before wedding.
Hey,
Yeah.
Rach.
I don't know if that's a theme or what, but
Oof. It poured. It poured when I got married. It was in the summer, so it poured. But
yeah. And Lowenthal says, I just call him Lowenthal because I'm Rob, he's Rob, but make it entertaining. And, he would know he's a very entertaining guy. Look, that's another thing too. I know this is hard for some people, but connection, right? If you're going to be educating people, make it entertaining. People, look, I hate to say it, but people do want to be entertained. They do want to be engaged. So you got to be engaging.
Correct.
So Rob.
Correct.
Very good one. But
Hey.
June Kerman's here.
Ooh, hey.
You just had rain.
I just
you weren't fortunate enough to have a snowstorm.
I had rain too. I had rain too. But things happen. That's the way it is.
Oh yeah. So you asked a question earlier, didn't you? Did we get any answers to that question?
I did ask a question. I asked, why do we feel so connected to certain people more than others, right?
We got Barry's deep answer, but let's get some others.
Yeah. And I even have another question too. Like, when it comes to networking, is bigger better? Like it, meaning like 100 contacts versus 50 connections. What do you guys think?
Got a big old stack of business cards?
Right.
Or do you got a phone with people you can hit dial and they'll take your call?
Take your call and have your back.
All right, Gene. Let's keep it G-rated.
The size doesn't matter.
Oh, yes, the network. Right, yes. I agree. I would have to agree. And I'll tell you this. I know people that have been networking for decades, and they know thousands of people. They know thousands of people. They have thousands of connections, but connections in the very kind of
But are they connections or contacts, Rob?
I think contacts. But then I know people who only have a few hundred connections, but they're real connections. They're people, again, can you call that person up and they're saying, hey, what's going on?
Right.
Because I'd rather have 100 of those versus 1,000 people who don't even really know me.
Right.
Because
Right.
you could do something with that.
That's absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Colleen says 50 connections, quality. Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
So true.
Absolutely.
It's so. There you go. Strong relationships over number of relationships.
Yep. Jeff says it too. I'd rather have 5 connections than 100 contacts.
Yeah, because it's just a contact, right? Stack of business cards. You know, I learned this early on from Tina, right? When you go to a networking event, pick 2 people in that room, just 2, and really connect with them, right? It's not about, handing out a business card to every person in the room. It's about having a bond, right? And you can't do that in 5 minutes.
Yeah, but what does the average person do? They walk into a room 100 people. Oh,
Yeah, and they're just
how many
like,
cards can I get?
right. And you know what? I'll be honest. I'll own it in the beginning, Rob. When because I'm a former paralegal, right? I didn't do this. I never did this before.
Yeah,
That's what I thought. I
absolutely.
thought like, oh, this is what I have to do. And it was Tina that taught me, no, that's not the way to go. And when she taught it to me, I thought, really? Like, it's that easy? Because I've been doing that my whole life.
Hey, Steph. It's
Yeah.
7:31.
Oh, okay, guys. Hey, we have a special guest tonight. Put in the chat who you think it might be.
Okay, here we go. If you've been on our lives before, if you watched us, every time we do this, we have a surprise guest. And hey, you may know them, you may not know them, but if you think you know who it is, we want you to put it in the chat, and we're going to give you a round of applause because that's all the rewards we can give you right now. If you know who it is, or if you think you know who it is, because we want to bring that person on very shortly. So start typing it in there right now. And I'm telling you, every single time, Rob was not here last episode because he thinks it's Tina. Tina was the previous episode. So no, it's not Tina. Tina, no, it's not you
even
again.
Voted, Tina.
Although I would love to have you on again. Larry says Bill Utenage. Very good guess. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. Anybody else got any guesses?
Come on, keep it coming. Who do you think our special guest is tonight?
Colleen's still thinking about it. I don't know what she's thinking. What are you thinking about? Debbie says Gene. All right.
Ooh, that's a good guess.
Rob says Larry. Tina says Bill.
Look at Jeff. Jeff's like, is it bad? Is it bad that I
always
guess Larry?
I think Jeff thinks if I keep saying Larry every episode, eventually he might be right. There's a good strategy to that.
Larry says Gene Terman.
Colleen gives up. Okay, we're running out of time, so why don't we bring that person?
Let's just do it. Let's just do it.
So Colleen's like, just tell us who it is already. First of all, I got to turn off this banner, but we get a drum roll. You got a drum roll?
I'll start tapping on the.
Okay. Here we go. Welcome, Mr. Larry Blackman.
Larry Black Guy. How are you, everyone?
Hey, Larry. Welcome. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well. I'm in the green room still waiting.
You're in the green.
Hey,
So he's in the green room.
I know.
Oh, that's good. Well,
so
welcome.
Larry, introduce yourself to everyone.
Who you are.
Hi, I'm Larry Blackman from the Addison North Chapter. I hold the secretary seat there. And more importantly, I'm a health insurance agent. Yes, the health insurance helper. I like to go around and visit people and make them feel uncomfortable when I say, I'm Larry Blackman. If you can't remember the man, remember the name. Black man, black month. That makes you nervous.
That? Can you say that?
Yeah. God got a great sense of humor. Look at the last name. And look at who I am. So use it.
And we love that about you, Larry.
Yeah.
That's good.
Life is too short. Life is too short. So embrace it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for coming in. And we got the people who guessed that you were the surprise guest. They want to know what they win. So let's give it to them. Here's what you win. Very good.
Yeah.
You win.
I think it was
Rob.
Tonight.
I think it was Jeff. Jeff, you guys win. Way to go. You did guess. I don't know if Jeff really qualifies as a win because you say the same name every episode.
Eventually, it might just happen, right?
It's like the lotto ticket.
Finds
Keep
an
playing
equal
the same numbers.
All right. Well, let's kick this off. We're talking about connection, Larry. So tell us what connection means to you.
Well, connecting for me is all about building a relationship. I'm pretty much hard to handle, so I'm not one of those one of those individuals at a party like to sit in the corner and so forth. I'm pretty much out there, and so I just I don't know, connecting with people has always been pretty easy for me. So it's like my ex-wife used to say, Melissa say the same thing. I can't leave you in the damn room without you making a friend. I said, it's a gift and a curse. So,
And I was not that way. And I really learned I was so not that way. Well, I'm an introvert for one. So, my energy is really not there in social situations. And I was very shy and I didn't talk to anybody because I didn't want to, and physically I was unable to come up with the words to form a sentence to talk to you. I couldn't have a conversation. I'm not exaggerating. So I had to learn that. So you're naturally that way. I had to learn that.
right.
But the good news is I think you can do it the right way. And even people who can talk a lot, they don't always make the connection. So go a little deeper and talk about, yeah, you talk to people, but are you always making a connection?
Yeah. I mean, like you guys were saying earlier, you find everyone have something in common. I mean, as a parent, um, or something job related, and let's face it, every guy can relate to sport. That's one of the big things. So you find that little common interest, and you go from there. It's just like with last year when I rededicated myself in for Master Network. Prior to that, I was skipping rocks, going to these meetings and so forth. I said, what's $50? And once I rededicated myself last year, man, I got ticked off because, all through the COVID, I had a chance to build a lot of relationships. And so but you can't look back. The only thing you can do is move forward. And so once I rededicated myself, I think the first person I met was Gene and Mary, and then AB, and then Miss Stephanie. And from there, it's just, and it's crazy because I start my day attending the New York region, and I just go west, young man, go west. And so it's crazy because of the fact I'm on a 20 chapter visit rotation for 2 weeks, and it's just been phenomenal for me. And some states I'm not even licensed in for health insurance, but I just love the people, and you just build those relationships, sit down with those face to face, and it's just amazing. What I love even more when people flying in and they may have like an hour or two layover, or they're driving through, and all of a sudden, dude, we're going to be in Dallas, and on this particular day. Okay, where you're at, I'll meet you. So like next week, it's a 4-hour drive, but I have a plan. It's like Aviva and her husband is flying into San Antonio. So I'm going to drive down there, visit with them, and then go and visit my family back home, which is only like an hour and a half.
Did you hear that, people? He is going to drive 4 hours from where he lives to go visit a member from our region, right? You're talking about Aviva in our region, and her husband. So that goes to our point precisely because of the connections he has made, right, Larry?
Yeah.
It's worth it to him. Those relationships that he's formed and that he's built are worth it to him.
Yeah, I think that, this is one of the things that I've been talking about more so lately. And, just a big shout out to Renee Pride, because when Steph and I first started doing this live, it's just something that was going to be, New York, Connecticut region, and she elevated it to the national level. And I really appreciated that because I've been kind of on this mission inside Master Networks where I just feel like we're all one big family. And so I want
Absolutely.
to erase the borders from the states, from the regions. I want to build bridges. And, we were talking about this earlier, Larry, before we came on with Steph, building the bridges. So you're going outside of your state, you're flying places, you're driving places. And the person who doesn't understand connection says to you, well, why on earth would you spend time talking with somebody who you can't do business with?
Yeah.
What do you say to that?
It's not about, it's not about the business, it's about the relationship. Because I'll give you a great example. Like I said, I can't sell in the tri-state area, but I built a relationship with Jay Ortiz, another partner, and he was like, Larry, what states are you in? And I was like, well, I'm in 27 states. He said, well, are you in these 6 states that I have a lot of customers in? I said, absolutely. And next thing I know, I get a phone call. Hey, Jay Ortiz told me to reach out to you about health insurance. Wasn't expecting that. But it's just one of those things. My thing is, it's best to be a giver than a receiver. It's hard for me to take, things from people. But I don't know. I don't look at the business. First, I look at the relationship, because like I tell these new agents, don't concentrate on the money. The money is on the reward, is a reward for a job well done. Build a relationship, because I have clients on my Facebook page. Put it like this: I have a client about an hour and 15 minutes, maybe 30 minutes away. It all depends when I have to go through Dallas traffic. And the town is called Greenville. I have 4 clients I have to call if I'm in Greenville. If not, they find out they are PO'd at me.
Yeah.
And the great thing is, I could be in Greenville, and they said, what time are you going to be in Greenville? Well, my appointment is at 8:00. And I said, okay, so we can meet for lunch. And so next thing you know, well, what about dinner? I'm thinking, good Lord, man. But
you're going to have one full belly.
Yeah, but that's just the rapport I have with, I try to build with people. I don't care how much money you make, how educated you are. It's the condition of one heart and your character. That's the only thing I worry about.
I think I want to go back to something you just said a minute ago, because I have people, as we all do, come into our chapter meetings who potentially want to join. And, as an area director and regional director, I talk with a lot of new people or potential members, and I've had them say, oh, so, how many members do you have? And can I see the list of the members? And can I have a list of what the categories they're in? And how many of this category do you have in your region? And they're trying to strategize their network. And what you said before was, I got a call saying Jay said to call you, and you said, and I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think what you're talking about is you're making connections without expectation of your reward, your gain.
Right.
It's just, hey man, let's just see, where this goes. Because
Right.
And you're a giver, right? So
Yeah.
like you're always giving to others. And I thought, I think that's like, it's a beautiful thing. I think people, even last year when you said, when we met you and you were like, you guys are doing an outing. Can I come?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. There we go, Tina, for the golf outing. Right. And I was like, we all were like, is he really serious? And that's why when I said to you, are you really serious? And you were like, yeah. And I said, what did I say to you?
You said, well, hell, you could come, you could stay with me. I'm thinking, are you sure? Yeah, I was like, okay, I'll send you the flight information. Boom. And then Barry picked me up. That was, it was great seeing everyone. I mean, that's the beauty of not only Master Network, but just building a relationship and not expecting anything out of it, but just lifelong. What is your tag? You always say, Stephanie?
We don't just do business together here, people. We do life here together.
That's what it's all about, right there, connecting.
Yeah. I was having a conversation with somebody recently, and some people are so focused on ROI. And when they say ROI, they mean dollars.
Right.
Yeah.
What's the ROI here? They're focused on the dollars, because out there in other organizations, that's their model. Hey, come here. Well, you can exchange referrals and get business. And that's business networking, right? Well,
Right.
Master Networks is a business networking organization. Well, maybe, but I always say it's more of an organization of opportunity, because ROI doesn't come in dollars, right? Larry, what you're talking about is your return on investment, dollars aside. You've got friendships, you got people who have your back.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're like, I'm going to fly up there. Barry's like, I'll pick you up. Steph's like, you could stay at my house. Like,
yeah.
So without connection, you don't have that.
No, it's Motel 6. Leave the light on for you.
And here's the beautiful part.
Yeah.
The beautiful part of this, Rob, and we didn't know it at the time. Even when I said to Larry, oh yeah, come stay here, I knew he lived in the Dallas area.
Right.
My son and daughter-in-law and grandkids live 15 minutes from Larry.
Yeah.
So until Larry was here and we were spending time together outside of all the parties that we had, right? Outside of the parties, that's when I learned exactly where Larry lived. And when I shared it with him, he was like, are you kidding me? Like, your kids are literally 15 minutes from me.
Yeah.
So when I flew down for my grandson's birthday, Larry picked me up. They had an event in the Addison North chapter, had a mixer. So I got to meet some of them.
Yeah.
And Larry and I hung out in Dallas, and we had a great time. So, and I always tease in the meeting when Larry comes into the Carmel chapter, I always say, and my brother from another mother, right? Mr.
Yeah.
Larry Blackman, right? Because he is like a brother to me now.
Yeah.
And I mean that with all my heart when I say that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Because the crazy thing was, it's like when my mom passed away, it was so many people calling, texting, just checking on me and so forth. And majority of the people was from the relationship I built through Master Network. And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
That's the beauty, man. I mean, people were actually there and asking the same questions, do you need anything? What can I do? Sending cards. And I'm thinking, good Lord. Okay. And it was overwhelming. It really was, because of the fact that I wasn't expecting the outpour like that. And it just solidified the family that I have in this organization. So
yeah. Patricia, who's in PA, my Master Networks friends in PA have become family. I lost my brother in September, and they were beyond supportive. But we're sorry to hear that, Patricia.
Yeah.
But look, this is kind of what we're talking about, and I still get people who go, they're not into this whole frou-frou family stuff, and I'm going, but what's most important in your life? And if you ask them personally, what's the most important thing in your life? Oh, my family.
Oh yeah.
Yes, your family, maybe your spouse, your kids, whatever. But to have family that is not blood related, have your back, be there for you, support you, you can't buy that. So make all the money you want, because you can't go buy that.
No.
And you know what I want to say too? When we're doing these face-to-faces, right? I want people to understand sometimes, you have these face-to-faces and you learn so much from other people that is invaluable to you in your business, right? It helps you be more successful in your business, and therefore you're earning more money because you're more successful in your business, right? So when we look at ROI, Rob and I have this discussion all the time, right, Rob? Because it's not about just the dollars. It's It's the knowledge that others share with you that help propel you forward in your business to be more successful.
Yeah.
I mean, Larry, I have a similar story to yours in the business aspect of it, where I was taught, and Tina Campbell taught me a lot of this stuff because I was a mess. I didn't know how to network when I got in, but she taught me stuff. Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
But she did teach me, just, meet people, right? Don't pitch, add
Yep.
value, and don't worry about it. And so I constantly gave value without expectation. Now, listen, I never ever pitched to anybody. I never sought to get something from the other person. In fact, I was always like, how can I give this person? So maybe it was a tip on branding because that's what I do.
Right.
Maybe it was a connection I can make because I was building my network. Maybe it was a book I read, a resource. I introduced them to somebody who can help them through something that they're having a challenge with. And I'll tell you, I mean, within a few months, I had clients. I still get clients. I get clients, and I never really talk about it. The thing is, I never sought to go after that, just making the connections and adding value. And people are sending business my way.
Yeah.
So to those people who say, well, that's what I'm here for. I'm here for the dollars, for the referral. Okay, you'll get that. But you'll get so much more out of it if you just do it this way. And honestly, it's so much more fun to do it this way. So fun.
Absolutely.
It's so much better, right? Because look, and I say to people too all the time, right? And you guys know this, right? We don't just hang out Monday through Friday from 9 to 5, right? Like I hang out with these people on the weekend. I spend time and outside of like a mixer or an event, we're seeing I talked to Larry on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Like, and we spent an hour and a half, 2 hours on the phone.
Yeah, because Melissa was like, what the hell are you guys talking about for an hour and a half? I don't know. We were just talking.
I just want to say we got somebody else from Pennsylvania.
Welcome,
hey, Karen.
Karen.
Welcome from Untitled Chapter. We're getting people from all over the country. I'm so excited. So Florida, Pennsylvania, Louisiana.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in the house. Thank you guys so much for coming out.
Awesome. So great. We're looking to build those bridges, but we're winding down here the last 8 minutes of the show. Larry, maybe just want to give us some parting words on connection, maybe something to leave everybody with.
Well, parting words. I'm not a man of words, as you know. No, but I would just go into when you have an opportunity to do a face-to-face, because sometimes some face-to-face, you may schedule 30 minutes. Next, it's an hour, or sometimes an hour and a half. You don't have anything to do. Don't make it a one-time thing, man. Keep building that relationship. And like I said, I can't really give any advice. Sometimes it's like a great NBA player. They know how to play the game, but they cannot coach the damn game. So I'm serious. Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas, and the list goes on. But no, just have fun. Trying to get to know the person, man. The hell with the business. Make that the second or third thing you talk about. Just trying to get to know that individual. And that's about it, I could say. So,
well, I could highly recommend any of you who have not had a face-to-face with Mr. Larry Blackman to certainly have that face-to-face.
And smile when you say Blackman. Smile.
Smile, Blackman.
Smile. It's okay.
Wow. Look him up in the hub. Go to if you're in Mass Networks, if you're a member, go to the workplace, look up Larry, do a face-to-face with them, because look, we're talking about connection. It's what you need to be doing anyway, but have it face-to-face, but think about the connection.
Yes.
Not just the contact, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I would say one other thing. This is what I started doing towards the end of the year. If you go into Hub, you'll see chapters forming in other states. It's not that hard to reach out to the president or the partner, regional partner, and trying to have a face-to-face with them. Did it with Oklahoma. The people from California was kind of, who the hell are you? But that's just who I am. I'm always trying to. I'm not licensed in California, so my thing was just trying to build. And once I saw them thinking chapter form in I think, oh hell, let's do that. Oklahoma, let's try to do that. It's just amazing. You have to get out of your comfort zone.
Awesome. So,
Make those
build the
connections.
connections, build the bridges. And, I like what Larry's basically saying is here too. It's build bridges with others. It's not just you to them. Sometimes it's you connecting somebody else to help make that connection and facilitate it. But Larry, I want to thank you for coming.
Appreciate
Thanks,
you guys.
Larry.
Thank you for sharing with us. Right. And we'll see you in the chapter meetings. All right.
We love you.
Absolutely.
And again, we're so sorry for the loss of your mom.
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Take care, Larry.
All right.
So good to have him up here, right?
It was great. It was great having him.
Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate all the people that have been commenting. Sorry, I haven't been able to get all the comments up there. There's just been so many, and I think it's really great and appreciate it.
Yeah, sometimes we get engrossed, right? We get
Yeah.
like
Yeah, especially, we got lots of thanks. Thank you, Rob, Stephanie, Larry. Fun and informative. Look at this coming out in Jersey.
I know. I have to come visit you guys. I have to drive out there and visit you guys. I will do that soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
So we're winding down here, right? So you want to get a couple of things to say. So did we get answers to your question?
Yeah, we did get some answers to my question. We did, and I think that's great, right? I think connection is key, people. It's key. If you can't connect, then where do you go from there?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, listen, I think you should play the music again, Rob.
Maybe we'll play the music while you do some thank yous and whatnot.
Yeah. So we want to thank, of course, always Tina, the culture queen of Master Networks, right? So thank you, Tina. Thank you for being such a great mentor to so many of us. We want to thank Renee, because Renee is the one who gave Rob and I this opportunity. So Renee Pride, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And we want to thank Chaz.
Absolutely.
And listen, I want to thank every single person that comes and supports Rob and I every 2 weeks, every other week on Build a True Culture Live. It's not the same without your engagement. You guys are who make this fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And we just want to remind you, next episode 8, is going to be on February 10th. So, hey, bookmark it on your calendar and don't miss this. And spread the word. Again, like we were talking about tonight, we were talking about connections. We talked about building bridges. Share this with people, right? Because even coming here, you can see the banter in the chat, which we love, and you're a big part of this. You're building connections through this kind of platform. So bring people. Don't miss it.
We want to be one big community, people, and we can't do that by ourselves, right? We want everybody to participate.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because as Steph always says, right? We don't do business together. We don't just do business together. We do life together. And we'd like to hear from you. Also, if you know this song, by the way, I didn't know this song before we chose it. If you know this song, put it in the chat. So you know who knows it.
Turn it up just a little, Rob, if you can.
Low? I'll turn it up a little more.
It's a little low, but at least on my computer. Maybe it's louder for others. Who knows?
Not too loud. Absolutely. So let's see who knows this. I don't see anything in there yet. You know who this is. I want to thank Steph. This came out of conversations that we have, and taking the time to do this, Steph. Appreciate you always making this regular time in your schedule so we can do this and get the word out. Because what we're doing here and talking about culture, this is a strong part of what's made the this region here, this New York, Connecticut, and now New Jersey region. We've added them in officially. So I'm proud to say New Jersey is now officially part of it. So we're calling it the tri-state region, but culture is a big part of this, which is why we've enjoyed the growth. We've enjoyed the retention. We've enjoyed this community of chapters of people who have each other's backs. We got Larry's saying
B-52s, and Rob is the regional director of the Jersey area, people. So big kudos to you, Rob, for taking on the New Jersey region. And we're so blessed to have you. I'm so blessed to know so many of you. I really, really am. You guys You guys keep me going.
Awesome. Well, we do have a winner, Rob Lowenthal again. He got it.
Woo,
Connection by Warner
Rob! All
Public.
right, Rob.
Very good. You got it. That's
All right.
he's the only one that guessed because I think we stumped everybody. Right. So that's a good one. Look it up if you haven't heard it. It's actually a really good song. Go ahead and look it up on YouTube. It's actually a pretty cool song. We looked at the lyrics too, and I was like, oh, we should use this one. So we're gonna wrap it up. We are at 8, and just like our chapter meetings, we start on time. We
Can
end
I
on
say
time.
one more thing, Rob?
Go ahead, sneaking in.
So before we go, please, again, mark your calendar, February 10th. And if you see value in this, share it on your page. When we go live, share it to your page and share it with the people in your world too. And don't forget, spread love wherever you go.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. We'll
Have a
see
great
you in
night.
2 weeks. Take care.
Bye.